After about 3 hours, I 100%ed Keeper. I completed the game and got all the achievements. So let's discuss if Double Fine's latest game is worth your time and money. As always, remember to like and sub as it helps me a great deal. And if you're on the YouTube mobile app, there's a hype button. If you click it, it does push the video out further. Keeper has you in control of a sentient lighthouse, joined with a bird named Twig. The two forge a bond after the lighthouse saves Twig from hostile creatures after it's separated from its kin. As the two journey throughout the island, they'll come across a variety of creatures, with the lighthouse being actively drawn to the top of the mountain. The story is told through non-verbal cutscenes and the lore through the island's environment. You'll find abandoned houses, lush environments, and a thriving city of bicycle people. The game reminds me a lot of the indie games Journey and Hob, but unlike those games, this island's teeming with life. You'll get to piece it together through limited details, but it offers enough that players can create their own timeline of what exactly is happening on the island. The extraordinary visuals are highlighted throughout the game, with each biome meticulously designed, featuring an incredible balance of industrial and natural elements. This, combined with exceptional animations, creates a truly immersive experience. The beautiful lighting enhances the effect, as does the constant precarious tilting of the lighthouse, the skybox teeming with life, birds flying around and other weird creatures, and the flora that dramatically responds to the lighthouse's presence. The world just feels very alive, and the game makes sure you know it with each step. Helping build that immersion is that amazing soundtrack that complements every situation. Double Fine did an extraordinary job here, and it really shows. Despite the overall story of the island and the corruption starting to take hold, the primary focus is on the lighthouse and Twig. The two forge a quick bond after one saves the other, and they aid each other in navigating the various areas. Through their actions, the two depend on one another and look to each other for safety, leading to a profound conclusion that feels earned given their time together. Most modern games struggle to establish this type of connection, even with basically using every type of word and emotional manipulation tool in the box, but thanks to incredible animations, believable actions, and overall execution, Keeper does this without even a single word ever being spoken. This game just feels like a classic Pixar film that you're able to interact with, and it's absolutely breathtaking. The core gameplay of Keeper is characterized by its simplicity and variety. Players begin by exploring the environment and shining a basic light, but eventually progressively acquire temporarily new abilities as the adventure unfolds while losing other abilities. The developers emphasize originality and imagination in the game's design. Each new chapter introduces a distinct set of abilities corresponding to the unique transformation of the lighthouse. Double Fine has always had a reputation for ingenuity, and this title delivers. Every section offers fresh excitement and gameplay mechanics that perfectly complement the lighthouse's evolving state. The partnership between Twig and the lighthouse is essential. Twig's ability to interact with distant objects and gather important items complements the lighthouse, which uses its light to banish magical barriers and deter hostile flora and fauna. The synergistic relationship strengthens their bond throughout the narrative. They begin seeking each other, and not only just out of necessity, but due to genuine affection, even going as far to risk their lives for one another. As for the puzzles, most of them are basic enough. The solution is very obvious, with highlighted pieces of importance or shining the light so Twig can interact with a valve or lever. Sometimes you'll need to search an area for significant objects, which can be taxing since the game has no map, and during the water areas things tend to look similar. The game does include areas where you'll warp through time, changing Twig into an egg or even a spirit that can pass through objects for very cool puzzles. The developers really want you to remain immersed in the world. The screen is always clear of unnecessary icons, information is limited, but the game provides enough guidance that navigation is easy enough and the controls are basic enough that anyone will be able to pick up and play this game. The developers clearly took the time to ensure that every detail is provided without overwhelming the player with tutorial messages or icons while pushing the player in the right direction. Clearly this game is for kids, but at the same time it never insults your intelligence, and it also provides an ideal experience for grown adults like myself who thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Keeper presents a significant dilemma though, primarily because of its steep $30 price tag. While the game offers creative and beautiful adventure, that is genuinely captivating from beginning to end, its short length makes it a difficult investment. I completed the entire experience, including gathering all the achievements in a single casual 3-hour playthrough. I'm stuck between an incredibly entertaining, engrossing adventure and the fact that it's $30, which is a very high asking price for a game that can be finished so quickly and offers little in the way of replayability. If you still have Game Pass, it's a solid way to spend an afternoon, but to outright purchase the game, it's a hard sell, but it's also a very inventive and creative game, and I want more of these, so it's really a difficult choice. Ultimately, it's determined on whether you think that 3 hours was worth that investment. Personally, I do think it was. In fact, I did purchase the game afterwards. Keeper is an extraordinary, outlandishly creative game with a deeply profound adventure. It immediately immerses the player, avoiding unnecessary filler, and delivers a deeply emotional experience. The unique bond between the sentient lighthouse and Twig was surprisingly yet ultimately one of the most memorable elements in the game released this year. While the high cost is a valid concern, the creativity found in games like Keeper is just a rare find in the modern day, and perhaps justifying the investment in these titles genuinely respects the medium of gaming should be taken into consideration. If you want more games like this, maybe we should start investing our money into titles like this instead of stuff that just will give us our fill. Regardless, I think Keeper is an absolutely wonderful game and worth your time. It's an extraordinary experience that showcases Double Fine's creative energy in a landscape where that seems to become increasingly rare every single day. Regardless, I loved Keeper. I think it's one of Double Fine's best projects. Yes, even better than Psychonauts, I'm going to say it, but the short length is definitely a dilemma, but ultimately, I think it's well worth it.